Next question. Dara Flaherty heard a rumour he once confirmed. Is it true that Club Red is actually blue inside?
I can't remember. Club Red is it was Silver's in, was it Silver? Oh, Silver's in Moore.
The first
The
time.
Al Shabeen. It's the nightclub in back the Al Shabeen. And the second time round, because we didn't have time to go to Moore, we shot it in Burr in Melba's nightclub in Burr. Neither of them were probably red inside.
I don't
Sure,
think
we
they
just
were.
made them look red.
Yeah. Well, how would you make them look? Just lights
Just
and
lights,
yeah.
yeah, so I can't remember.
Karen Moran asks, did Geraldine split with Kevin after the threesome? And is she still with him or is she not with him?
Well, yeah, no, she's not with him. In the new two-parter, it's explained. We come back 4 years later and we know that she was highly pissed off when the threesome happened and wasn't comfortable with it, and she split with Kevin and also ended her friendship with Jennifer and hasn't seen Jennifer for 4 years and doesn't want to have anything to do with her. And Kevin is gone and she's still carrying a torch for him, so
Yeah.
her heart is broken and she's never quite got over it. So she's not, when we come back in for the two-parter, Geraldine is not in the best form.
And there's a scene we put out that we might put up where Jennifer tries to make it up to Geraldine, and Geraldine at the very end just says, "Look,
Forget about it, it's too late, fuck off," you know. And it's a deleted scene from the two-parter because we didn't have time to put it in, so it might be up on the thing.
Catherine Mulhare says she really missed Shamey in the two-part special, as she thought he was a great character in the show. Had you planned to make the second series before his passing, and if so, what storylines might you have had in store for him?
Well, unfortunately, Tom passed away in 2007, October 2007, and so we were asked to do this two-parter in January 2009 this year, so it was quite a quick turnaround, and so it was we were trying to be delicate about how we'd deal with the fact that Tom was no longer with us, and so we decided that he would he would end up in Australia with Therese, and they would give him a happy ending at least, so they were out there, and so we didn't have any storylines planned for him because unfortunately he was had passed away, so it was very, very sad, and he was a really great actor and a huge loss to everyone, and yeah.
And on a related note then, Owen O'Brien also wants to know how hard it was to go back to filming The Last Weekend without Tom's presence on set.
Well, I suppose it was tough, particularly for Garrett, I think, because he'd spent, in the original shoot, the two of them were in practically every scene together.
Yeah.
So and you're in a lot of different, like when you go back to his bedroom or shooting stuff in the car or whatever, all those locations that he used to, that they would have been together in, so it's probably toughest for him, really.
Chump change questions. What makes Midlands people the way they are? For example, man in bar. What are you up to these days, Eugene? Eugene answers, bits and pieces, just made a program called Pure Mule for RT, seems to be going okay. Man in bar. Oh, suppose you think you're great now, the big man about town.
That's kind of, well,
That's Irish though, isn't it?
I don't think that's particularly Midlands. That attitude, which I haven't really encountered actually, people will usually be very nice about the whole thing, is that's an Irish attitude. Rather than just don't blame, just pour off me for that. That's everywhere. I think certainly awfully people I suppose are more less forthcoming than some of our southern neighbours who would
be more forward
about things like Cork people tell you. Often people are more kind of laid back and kind of and that's a kind of a character. I mean, that's a caricature, but it's kind of true in ways, I think. I mean, Neil Tubini used to do the sketch where the Awfully Man had won the lotto, and he was just completely unexcited about, what do you do with the money? Oh, I don't know what I do, I'm sure you do somewhere. You know what I mean? It was that kind of thing. So I don't know. But it's dry, and the sense of humour is quite dry, I think, and quite dark. In Eating Dairy, anyway, I always thought it was kind of quite vicious, but very droll. You know.
And in Clara?
Yeah, pretty droll.
Dara Flaherty wants to know, is Peter the security guard really Polish?
Yes.
Yes.
And John Ryan wants to know, where did Bomber get his name?
Well, Bomber was originally called something else, and I couldn't name him that because there was someone called that, and the someone who was called that
had connections.
Bomber was kind of based on this character, or I got the idea for him from this guy I knew, used to know. So we had to change the name, and I think someone just said, I think Kira, my girlfriend, came up with it, or she knew someone called Bomber, or I think she was the one who said Bomber to me. I don't know, I can't remember, but it just sounded like a good name for him. You know that you know, you Bomber, you know what you're going to be dealing with.
Nothing to do with bombs.
No, it was more that he used to bomb down the road real fast. When he bombed, he used to run. He was fast as a kid or something.
Why did you not decide to have a happy ever after ending and send Jen and Scobie off to Oz together?
Well, there was a lot of debate about that, but felt in the end that it was a happier ending if she went back with the Tom character, the Englishman. I think
we always thought that Scobie and Jen would probably end up
killing each other. They're too alike, and they'd kind of have a great time for about 2 months, and then they'd actually shoot each other. So, and I just think that, I think it was a happy ending. I think that it was good, and Scobie needs to kind of go out and grow up and get the old, you know, cut all the apron strings from this town and go on and make a life for himself. And I think he realises that at the end, and she realises that she truly loves the other boy, even though he's English. And they'll go off and
but in that scene,
see what happens.
that final scene when she goes to Scobie's house, there was a moment in that we cut out completely where she does say she will go, and they make plans, and then at the last minute she changes her mind.
She changes her mind, so we cut the scene differently then.
Yeah, to get rid of her ever considering.
Yeah, that she doesn't consider it. She goes, look, I can't go. But originally it was, Jesus, let's go, let's make plans, and they are actually going to.
So you might take that scene up there.
Up as well, and then yeah.
Elaine Kavanagh asks, the big question on everyone's lips, why did it finish when it did, and will there be another series? And as Paul Early suggests, the Scobie and Oz diaries perhaps.
Great suggestion. And that would be the ideal thing to do, would go to Australia for all of us.
Absolutely.
Spend 6 months there and make the Scobie in Australia. Well, there'd be a good story about Scobie in Australia. I'm pitching this now to anyone who's watching. So, but I don't think there'll be any. Well, it's not up to us. It's up to RTE and essentially whether they want more. But I think sometimes it's good to quit when you're ahead, you know. So I think that'll be it. But unless we can get someone to make Scobie and Oz.
Yeah, we'll go for that.
Well, thank you very much. Those are the questions submitted. Thank you, Eugene O'Brien.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.